Kevin Samuels, rest in peace. My condolences to the family and friends. But let's have a conversation, man. Let's talk. I have to talk about this. And it's very important because my platform is in regards to building better men. So the Real Men Talk, man, we talk about problems and solutions. Problems and solutions. Utilizing methods such as therapy, coaching, online education, and this platform. Now, I come in contact with many men. And once again, not once again, but many of these men are hurting in some form, way, or fashion. So if you follow me on TikTok, if you follow me on YouTube, 25% of my videos are a reflection of me, 25%. The other 75% are challenges and views that I hear from other men. It's almost like I'm the voice for things that they can't say for whatever reason. Whether it's fear, their job, self-esteem, not for sure how to articulate or who even to talk to about. 75% of the content that I do is based from other men's views and talking points. Our sisters ask all the time, what do men want? What do men want? So we go talk about that, man. But we must talk about this issue with this Kevin Samuels thing. Most of the men that I know and that I communicate with, we don't care for all the rhetoric and what you always state that's degrading or belittling. Yes, I think his tone, I think his delivery was a little different. Now, most of the men that I know, we don't care for that. We don't care for that. But we do get the message. We do understand the point. Now, some of this shit, man, to be honest with you, if I want to get more viewers, more followers, there's other things that I can be doing. Such as on social media, certain things that you have to do. I'm very familiar with the psychological process as well as the social media process in regards to acquiring more listeners and more followers. There's certain things that you can do. Now, I'm not for sure if that's what Kevin Samuels was doing with some of the things he was saying, or that was actually what he really believed in. He was kind of just arrogant like that. But nevertheless, man, rest in peace. Rest in peace. And once again, my condolences to the family and the friends. But most of us men and most of men that communicate with me, what we liked was two things. There was many more than that, but the two things that I hear majority of the men talking about is two things that they liked that Kevin Samuels was doing. One, that was calling women out on their bullshit. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. Calling them out on their bullshit. Two, trying to bring Black families back together. And he joked quite often that most Black women will be dying alone. That's a statistical fact. You know, some laughed about it, but it's a statistical fact. Let me pull this up right quick before I start talking to you all. This stat right here, half or 50% of African Americans have never been married, compared to 34% of all Americans. Let that sink in. Read that and let that sink in. And this is based off a 2019 stat. I would say it may be higher than that. That means half the people in your family, depends on how big your family is married. I mean, have never been married. Not married, but have never been married. How can we build, people? How can we build? So those was two of the things that most of men like in regards to what he was trying to portray. What I want to address, and I'm going to talk about what it is that women want. I'm going to talk about that part, and I'm going to give you some tools as well as some of the tools and advice he was giving you. But let's talk about this celebration or this so-called mourning, a lack of mourning of the guy. Now, despite how we felt about the guy, what he did, this man was somebody's son, somebody's father, somebody's brother. If anything, man, I'm going to celebrate life. That's just me. I respect humankind. I respect life. God gave us all life, man, which is very precious. And we're getting to the point, man, that we are so desensitized that we're not having value of life anymore. Now, to those, once again, I seen the comments. I'm not going to mourn him. You don't have to mourn the guy, man. But some of the comments that I'm seeing, man, I was on one post and a black woman was comparing him to David Duke and Rush Limbaugh. David Duke and Rush Limbaugh. I seen somebody else called him, I think, an upscale Howard Stern. So my challenge, my issue with that is, man, you don't have to mourn the guy. You don't have to praise God, but that's not despise his death, man. It's bad enough that his mother found out on goddamn social media. Found out on social media. Can you imagine how that must be to find out that your loved one, let alone your son, has transitioned and the whole world knows besides you, and you find out through social media? So by looking at that, let me tell you something, ladies. That really opened up a lot of other men's eyes in regards to just how the disconnect. We're so disconnected. We're so disconnected. And I'm all about family and unity. That's why I have the Real Men Talk. We're all about building better men. And we can build better men. We building better fathers, better husbands, better uncles, better brothers, better businessmen. Because a lot of the guys that come to the Real Men Talk are entrepreneurs. And I have the young and the old, which I want to call our elders, the wisdom, having us communicate and dialogue. Putting together solutions and plans is so amazing. But men, we have to continue to build ourselves. There's a lot of men that are hurting, a lot of men that is off track, confused, unsure, no self-esteem, beaten down. Men, we We have to build ourselves up, man. We have to do better. If you don't know how, man, keep watching these videos. DM me. Education, tutoring, mentoring, coaching. Learn a new skill set, man. We have to do better. We don't got time, man, to sit around and play. And you talking to a person who loves to play video games. I can't play video games all the goddamn time. As much as I want to, I can't, man, because it's too much that needs to be done. Truth be told, man, I can sit here and relax if I want to because I'm retired. I can literally sit here and relax and enjoy my time out. And I realize God has a bigger plan for me, man. As well as whom much is given, much is required. So I just can't sit here and not do that. I'm constantly working on myself, working on me, working on the business, trying to help others. It's always an evolving process, man. It never stops. Never stops. Why? Because all of us have talents. All of us have gifts. What are we doing with it? What are we doing to bring that bridge together, man, so we can build? Now, don't get me wrong. We can't save every goddamn body. I realize that. We can't save every goddamn body. I know that. But to those who want to collaborate, who wants to work together, who wants their self to be better, who wants their family to be together, we have to keep growing. We have to keep growing. But with that comes changing our mindset, man, and looking at things differently. Looking at things differently. Now, for example, in regards to the late Kevin Samuels, in regards to, his tone and rhetoric, let me tell you this, man. Sometimes you have to get what you can give. Get what you can get. For example, man, I'm going to talk about a couple people that's known to spit lots of rhetoric that we listen to, and we ignore some of the messages. Back then, I was talking about Donald Trump. Once again, I tell you, I'm not a Trump supporter, man. I'm all about the numbers. I'm all about the facts and the data. As he was talking about all that rhetoric with Biden Hunter, with Joe Biden going to Ukraine, selling these weapons, nobody was paying no attention to it. Why? Because everyone was caught up on the rhetoric and all the other stuff that he was saying that was degrading, that was dismissive, that was rude. We got caught up on that and missed all the other stuff. Now look at it. We're in war. We're in war. Well, we're not at war, but pretty much you can say that because America got its hands in the goddamn cookie jar. Anytime America got their hands in the cookie jar, it's like they say, where there's smoke, there's fire. So it will affect us. Matter of fact, how will it affect us? Russia and Ukraine provides 25% of the grain that feeds the world. 25% of the grain that feeds the world. Them farmers are not farming. They're not harvesting. So if 25% of that grain feeds the world, and here in America, we barely producing, let alone making grain, how you think that's going to affect you and your household? Bread prices are already going up. Bread's been pretty expensive for a minute. So I stopped eating bread for a minute, kind of picked it back up. Need to cut it back out. So it affects us. But what I want you to understand, hear me out, man. Hear me out. Hear me out. Start looking at things from other people's perspective. Okay? Two things I want you to do. Look at it from other people's perspective. Don't mean you have to fucking agree with it. But try to picture why in the hell would they even think the way they're thinking. Figure out what's in their mind. Why would a person want to think this way? That's one thing I liked about school, college. And there wasn't a lot about college that I liked. I've learned more outside of college than I did in college. But one thing I liked about the master's program make you think as well as it make you research. And you got to argue from both standpoints. So once you get into the doctorate program, pretty much what you're doing is defending your thesis, but you have to defend it from different standpoints. So in graduate school, it makes you really think and makes you do the research. So when you're looking at it from another person's standpoint, you can get an understanding. Don't mean you have to agree, but get an understanding. Get an understanding. And second of all, listen to the message. You know if it's a message or not. You know if it's bullshit or not. But don't get caught up on the words, man. We get caught up on the words, and we get caught up on, for example, somebody may say, listen here, motherfucker, let me get your goddamn attention. Now that I got your damn attention, you wouldn't listen to me. A lot of that's part of the social media tactics and tips that people use to get your attention and keep your attention. And now they got your attention because they didn't said a couple curse words or degraded someone or didn't talk bad about somebody. Now they got your attention. Now you listening. That's just how unfocused we are. We focus on the wrong shit. The wrong shit. So if you focus on the wrong shit, man, that's what you go pay attention to. And you go miss the whole message. And in between all that bullshit, that he was spitting out, like Donald Trump, it was a message. The message is we need to bring the household back together. We need to work on this communication process. And a lot of it comes with therapy, man. A lot of us black people alone need goddamn therapy, man. I mean, we've been through enough, man, just here alone in America with just the treatment. That's enough to give somebody goddamn PTSD. And if you're a veteran like me and what you just seen, that adds on top of that. But yeah, everybody needs some form of counseling, some form of therapy, man. And then once we can take care of that, man, we start dealing with these issues and challenges. We get a lot of challenges, man. We have a lot of challenges that we can't even communicate. So sister's asking what men want. What men want. I'm going to talk about that. What men want. But let's stay focused, man. Let's stay focused and start focusing on people and things that can bring value to you. If they're not bringing value to you, man, even if I'm not bringing value to you, disconnect and find somebody that's bringing value to you. Okay? Man, we're at a race, man, that we're behind. Let me pull up this goddamn stat again so you can see. Half or 50% of African Americans have never been married compared to 34% of all Americans. Never been married. I want to say this, and this is Mother's Day, man. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Because of you all, we have life. I can do what I'm doing now because of you. Much praises to the women. And thank you, sisters. You all have been carrying the torch for quite some time. And we know you're tired, man. We know you're tired. It's time for you to give that damn torch up, and it's time for us to take that torch and lead the goddamn way. But only how we go do this is what we're doing now, man. We got to talk about these problems. We got to be... Let me go ahead and talk about what men want. This is what men want, sisters. I'm going to give you two things. Two very important things. And you may think is that it? It's usually that's it. Now, before I give you the two answers, let me tell you something, because I see this and hear it quite often, even amongst us as men. When you ask someone for an answer and they give you an answer, You'll find some way in your head to believe that that's not the answer. Or you'll find some way to try to figure out what is the answer, but the person just gave you an answer and you're overthinking it. You're overthinking it. And that becomes an issue right there. This is part of what I'm about to roll into in regards to what men want. And sometimes men, you don't know what the fuck you want. I'm gonna be honest. So how can that woman know what you want if you don't know what the fuck you want? And once again, I talk to many men. A lot of women didn't realize, man, when Kevin Samuels brought up men, he was giving them the same biz he was giving the women. And for some reason, that's been missed. I've seen it a couple of times. The men are just as confused. Which let me know, man, there's a major disconnect when it comes to communication that we have to tackle. Once again, some of the men don't know what they want. If you don't know what you want, that's cool. But it's a problem when you don't know what you want and you out here in the fucking market. Yeah. So let's get into it. Let me get into it so I can get out of here. And I'm going to provide y'all value. 2 things, women, that men want. First of all, men. This is not Coach Hightower's answer. This is based off a sample of men that I had the pleasure of interviewing and talking to. And the common consensus that most of them kept relaying was they just want their feelings and their points to be acknowledged. They just said they want their feelings. Listen to me. They just want their feelings and their points acknowledged. I like, that's it? They're like, yeah. What if she don't agree, man? I don't care if she don't agree. I just want her to at least acknowledge. To let me know that she understands and that she's hearing me. This is what they're telling me, as well as what I'm witnessing. Men just want they want their feelings acknowledged. Now, I'm realizing that, depends on your upbringing and your background. Some women don't know how to acknowledge a man's feelings. And that's where it comes in, man. We have to get the help. We got to get some coaching. You may be constantly, unintentionally hurting that man's feelings or hurting that woman's feelings. And because we don't know. So yes, sisters, that's what the men are telling me. They want to be acknowledged. And I'm going to tell you, sister, that's a blessing in itself. When a man can be vulnerable, come to you in his weakest moment, coming to you for guidance. And sometimes most of the men, we don't need no response. We just want you to listen and just acknowledge. That's it. But it becomes a problem when you don't acknowledge and you start becoming defensive and justifiable. That muddies up the waters, that stop the communication process. Take heed to that and pay attention. Next time your man come to you in a vulnerable state, listen to him and acknowledge his feelings. You don't have to agree with him. Just acknowledge it. Another thing men want. We want women to start owning up and apologizing. Accepting your flaws and faults and apologizing. That's it. Half the time, that's all we want. We want acknowledgement and an apology. All of us are fucking imperfect. Ain't nobody perfect. But it becomes an issue when you can't even acknowledge your own flaws and faults. And you start justifying to why it is what it is. that kills the whole, once again, communication process. Them two things, acknowledgement and apology, it will keep peace. And overall, most men that I'm affiliated with and know, they just want peace. That man will go out there and break his back for you and the family. For you and the family. All most men want are peace, just peace. I gave you actually 3 things, but the 2 things I gave you, which was acknowledgement and apology, that equals to the peace that you can have in your household. And that goes both ways. But once again, my platform is mainly designed for men. I love the women that come on. We need your support. We can't do it without you. So I welcome all your comments. I welcome all your solutions. I welcome you all just being part of the Real Man Talk. Matter of fact, I'm about to come up with a whole nother club for the women that's part of the Real Man Talk, because once again, we can't do it without you, sisters. We can't do it without you. Before I get out of here, man, I want to tell you another thing that's going to help you. I got something for you. Here we go. So check this out. The thing that's really hindering our community, our people, our generation, is fear. We have to get rid of this goddamn fear that's stopping us from being the best that we can be. Each and every one of you have purpose, goals, gifts, talents, and we're not operating. We're not using it. And a lot of that is fear. It can be the fear of the unknown. It can be the fear of success, of actually knowing that you can do this, but you just don't know what to expect when you get there. It can be a lack of direction. Many people, I realize, do want to do things. They're just not for sure how to go about it. That's where I come in at. That's where you can find a life coach, or you can find a business coach to help get you on that path and to help get you that blueprint. But when you start operating within your gifts and within your talents, life starts to change a little bit. Life starts to change. But you have to get over that fear, man. Have to get over that fear. One of my biggest fears, and I'm going to get out of here. One of my biggest fears once upon a time was riding a motorcycle. I was terrified of motorcycles. Based off growing up, going to a drag race when I was probably about between 5, 7 years old. No, younger than that, between 4 and 7. And watching a man get on this motorcycle. And as I can tell you now, it's a Hayabusa. I couldn't tell you back then. But I remember that motorcycle pulling up. He brought it down. He came back up. Brought it down. And when he brought it down, he just tumbled. Dude got up. He was kind of scarred up, had his chaps on. Matter of fact, I don't think that dude had a helmet on because he was scarred up. Wow. But at that age, man, it really impacted me. I said, I would never get on a motorcycle. Never. Well, as I got older, man, I had friends that was asking me about a motorcycle. I'm like, nah, man, I ain't riding a motorcycle. Then I started telling myself, man, why come you don't want a motorcycle? And myself told me, you fucking scared, which I was. So in 2000, I want to say 10 or 2009, I took a motorcycle class. It kind of helped me get over the phobia. Didn't follow through. I did finish the class, but I don't think I got that license. So anyway, I ended up taking the class again in 2015, I want to say. 15 or 16. When I took that course, man, I got on that motorcycle. It was kind of scary. But once I started to go through the process, and this goes back to the unknown, learning about how to control the motorcycle, how to operate the motorcycle, I then had control. That motorcycle didn't have control. I had control. But that was part of me getting over that fear. Once I started taking the class, man, and doing the turns and doing the stops, like, shit, I got this. I can tell you, man, 6 years later, I'm still riding. And I'm riding a 2014 Street Glide. And anytime I get on that thing, man, it's peace. It's peace. And there's no fear. Why share that story with you? Once I overcame that fear, it opened up other opportunities for me. I was able to hang with a whole bunch of different people and network with a whole bunch of different people, different caliber people that I probably would have never, ever met in my life if it wasn't for me getting over that phobia. Matter of fact, I have got some very close friends. And if it wasn't for me getting over that fear, I wouldn't have some of these close friends that's in my circle. And some of these close friends, man, they ride bikes. I'm telling you this because once you overcome these fears, you get other opportunities. That's why we can never stop growing. What I want you to do, man, is go down here and check out my book. Go to highenough.com, highenough.com, and get my ebook. Get my ebook, Fear. So my ebook, Conquer Fear, How People Get What They Want Out of Life. It's a book, man, that has helped me get over even more phobias. But I want to help you, man. Get the book. The book is only $9.99. Matter of fact, we need to go up on that price, actually. But Conquer Your Fear, man. It's an ebook, and it's going to give you a lot of points in regards to how to start overcoming this. And if you need some coaching, man, hit me up, DM me. I would love to get you inside my coaching sessions. But go get that book, Conquer Your Fear, Conquering Fear. Let's see, let me get off here, Conquering Fear. But yeah, I had to do the video. I couldn't go live because I've been having issues with my internet. But I hope you got something out this video. And once again, to those that watch me, man, rest in peace to Kevin Samuels. And once again, I'm all about family and unity, man. I'm all about building better men. So most of the men that I'm connected with, once again, a lot of them didn't care for, some of the rhetoric that he just displayed. But we liked that he was calling women out on their bullshit. And he actually was trying to bring the black family and families together. Despite how people see it. Most of us men, that's what we've seen from that. All the other stuff, man, like I said, social media, man. People do things to keep people's attention. And it's crazy because sometimes you got to do and say crazy shit just to keep people's attention. We're so all over the place, man. A lot of that goes to mindset. We have to change our mindset and change our focus. But thank you all for tuning into the Real Man Talk. To those who haven't subscribed to the channel, please go to the YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe. And please go to highenough.com and purchase that ebook. If not, purchase to somebody that you know that may be dealing with some fears. And a lot of our young adults, man, they're scared. A lot of our young adults are scared. And because they're scared, it's stopping them from operating as well. But we got too much talent. We have too much talent to sit on the sideline. Go to highenough.com, get the book. Y'all stay blessed, stay encouraged, and realize, man, everybody has greatness in them. It's all about how you bring that greatness out of you. Peace.